Good evening, students. Today our topic is nutrition in amoeba. We'll learn about the nutrition in amoeba, how actually nutrition is completed in amoeba. Okay. Now look, first of all, you should know actually amoeba. Amoeba is an aquatic animal. Okay. Aquatic can be marine also and freshwater also. But your amoeba is a freshwater aquatic animals. Okay. It is omnivorous. Omnivorous. It is unicellular and eukaryotes. What do you mean by this? I am going to explain you. Freshwater, as you know, the source of the freshwater, it could be the pond, it could be the river, or it could be the lakes. That means amoeba can be found in freshwater, especially where? In the lakes, in the river water, and in the lakes water. As it feeds on both plants and animals, those who are living in the water, and they are very tiny in the shape. Amoeba feeds on that particular plants and animal. That's why it is known as omnivorous. As it is made of single cell only, its total body is made of single cell, it is known as unicellular. And as amoeba have the two defined nucleus, and at the same time double membrane cell organelle are also found in the amoeba. That's why it is known as the eukaryotes. Is that clear? Next is, when amoeba will do the nutrition, that mode of nutrition is known as holozoic mode of nutrition. Now what is in the holozoic mode of nutrition? When a particular living organism will feeds on the solid complex food substances, and if that complex food substances will be converted or broken down into simpler food substances with the help of digestive enzyme, then that process is known as holozoic mode of nutrition. Look, one thing, amoeba being a unicellular organism, it also follows all the steps of nutrition, like first step your ingestion, that is intake of food, second step digestion, third one is your absorption, fourth one is assimilation, and fifth one is egestion. That means whatever the steps will run into human body or a higher organism, all the steps will run in amoeba also. After being its is a unicellular eukaryotes. Now amoeba do not have the definite shape. That means it's do not have the definite shape of the body, because its shape of the body is totally dependent upon the flow of water. That means flow of water can change the shape of the body of amoeba. Amoeba do not have the definite shape. Second, pseudopodia. This word you have to focus. Pseudopodia. This pseudopodia is very important organ for the amoeba. Pseudopodia can help in the process of locomotion also. Whenever amoeba have to locomote, it will use the help of pseudopodia. At the same time, the pseudopodia can help in the intake of food also. That means whenever any food particles will come close to amoeba, it will take the help of pseudopodia to trap the food particles, and this pseudopodia can be produced from any part of the body, and it is looking like a finger-like position. And now I am going to explain you the process of nutrition in amoeba by the diagram. Just you look at here. As I told you, amoeba do not have any exact shape. It can be the shape of amoeba also. Okay. Now as here I have drawn two small finger-like projection is there. It is finger-like structure. This finger-like structure is known as pseudopodia. Okay. This is your pseudopodia. Already I told that pseudopodia can be used as a locomotory organ also. At the same time, it helps in the trapping of the food or intake of food. Suppose this is your food particles. That food particles now has to be entered into the body of amoeba. First, what it will do? First, it will form a finger-like projection to trap the food particles. Now look, this is the invagination, or it is the just one projection, finger-like projection. This is called pseudopodia. This finger-like projection, which is called as pseudopodia, it has to trap the food particles. That when that food particles will come close to finger-like projection, automatically that food particles will be trapped by the pseudopodia. Look how nicely that work is done by your pseudopodia. Now that food particles have been already entered into the body of amoeba. That is the intake of food. Now the next second stage is your digestion. How the digestion will be completed here? When the food particles will enter into the body of amoeba, that time one temporary stomach will forms into the body of amoeba. That is known as food vacuole. That means within the food vacuole, the food particles will be there. Now this food particle has to be get broken down, or this food particle has to be converted into very simple form. Now the digestive enzyme, whatever it will found in the cytoplasm, that digestive enzyme will enter into the that food vacuoles. Now the function of the digestive enzyme is to break the complex food substances or the solid food substances into the food vacuole. Now as you are seeing that solid food substances are entering into the body of amoeba, and when a single celled organism or single cell will engulf or it will eat the solid food particles, that time that process is known as phagocytosis. That means the intake of food or the nutrition is completed with the help of phagocytosis. Are you thinking that now phagocytosis you have understood? Okay. After that, when the digestive enzyme will enter into here, that time the solid or complex food substances will be broken down here in the food vacuole. That means digestion will be completed inside of the food vacuole. That is the step of digestion. Now third step, as you know, it is the absorption. Now once the food particles will get broken down here, now the food particles will now take entry into the cytoplasm. Now these are the food vacuoles, food particles. That food particles has been entered into your cytoplasm. The movement of simple food substances into the cytoplasm, it is known as absorption. Okay. Now once the food particles, simple food particles will enter into the cytoplasm, now the cytoplasm will use that simple food substances in the process of respiration. At the same time, by doing the respiration, that amoeba will gain the energy and they will utilize the energy to grow inside. Automatically your amoeba will grow inside in that way. That process of utilization of the food and to obtain the energy by doing the respiration and to enlarge in the side, that process is known as assimilation. Finally, when the food will get digested, definitely some of the food particles, it will 100% it will not get digested by the amoeba. Now the food particles can be removed from any part of the plant body. Suppose this is your undigested food particle. That food particles, that means that is the oral surface or that is the membrane of the outer membrane of the amoeba. That outer membrane will get ruptured or it will get degenerated. From that ruptures area, the undigested food particles will comes out from the amoeba body. This is known as egestion. That means now I think you have understood. That means there is no any definite place in the body of amoeba. From there only the food particles can enter. Then food particles can be take entry into the body of amoeba from any part of the body, and like that only when undigested food will be there, that undigested food can comes out, it can be removed from the body from any part of the amoeba. That means there is no any definite shape or exact place for the entry and for the exit of undigested food particle. Now I think you have understood very nicely about the nutrition in amoeba. Next topic we will do the next that is one nutrition in paramotion.